Hey everyone, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been about 3 months. Why was that? We took a break from recording the devlogs to focus on the game's development. Uh, our old focus while doing the devlogs previously was kind of to focus on what features we could work on that would look well being marketed on social media and on the devlog. So we kind of decided to take a break from that and try to just go full steam ahead and finish everything up. So that's what we've been doing. We've been heads down to finish up basically our game engine on top of Unity to work on our game going forward. So we had a great opportunity to playtest our game at the local Oklahoma game developer meetup. This was a night where a bunch of game developers from around Oklahoma got together and showcased their games. And this allowed for people to playtest our game who hadn't heard of it or hadn't been involved much with the progress of our game. So it's kind of a fresh set of eyes on our game, which was great to get that sort of a feedback because for the most part, the people we've showed at work and our friends and family have been giving us feedback that may have been a little bit more positive than we needed. It was great to get some critical feedback, but also to get the overwhelmingly positive feedback that we received. So for the playtest at the Oklahoma Game Developer Meetup, we took the game engine that we had built on top of Unity, and we were able to utilize that to basically create a demo version of what we had so far. So we were able to plug in some story, build some more art assets, and basically come up with a complete mini story from our game that we could showcase during the playtest. So another big benefit of having this game demo done, we felt we were able to get the game in a state and get all of our stuff together to form a pitch for something called Square Enix Collective. And what is Square Enix Collective? Well, it's a offshoot of Square Enix, a company who launches titles like Final Fantasy. It's a smaller subsidiary of their company that allows them to help market and help potentially fund independent game developers. So we are able to get our stuff together that we had completed for the playtest for the game developer meetup and pitch it to Square Enix. And we will hear back from them hopefully shortly, and we'll keep you guys up to date on what happens with that. And along with that demo that we pitched to Square Enix Collective, we actually released that on itch.io for people to play. And if you're following us on social media on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, you might have seen that we had launched this a couple days ago, and it's been going pretty well. So if you guys are interested, you can head over to itch.io and play it. And actually, I'm going to show you guys what that looks like now. So this game demo is a complete version of what features will look like in Steadfast. And this demo showcases a bunch of cutscenes and dialogue and walking around, and at the very end it showcases some combat. And you can also see that we have some funny emotes overhead that we can use for the cutscene. And for this demo, this is a scene where you're following your father and your sister through the woods in search of Auric, who is in trouble and he's in need of your help. So the goal here is to find Auric and lend assistance to him. And along the way, you'll notice that the woods are not as they used to be. There are goblins in the woods that makes your father quite nervous. And as you play the demo, you'll get a feel for the story that we're trying to tell through Steadfast, as well as how it'll play out and how the different mechanics will feel. And in this final scene here, you'll notice that your father and Ayla have actually not followed you thus far, but then the bridge breaks and they come running after you, so you're stranded on this other side of this river. And now there's a conflict of goblins that come to attack you. And this is an introduction to combat, where at first you're kind of instructed to just avoid the goblins at first because you're only a mere child, and what are you supposed to do to fight them? Luckily, a stick falls from the tree, and you're able to go and grab the stick and have a chance to fight back. And this demo is pretty difficult. A pro tip is you might want to get some apples in the previous scene to heal you in case you start running low on health. And then if you're able to beat the game, you'll see the final scene where the father actually goes and finds a log from the wood, and he's able to put it down and come across the river along with you to continue the journey. And that's about all we have for this demo, but it's kind of an example of where we're at with things and the features that we built on top of Unity that we can use going forward. So next up on the list of things that we're going to be working on is we're going to start over at the beginning of Chapter 0 and we're going to work our way forward. The demo is actually a few acts into the Chapter 0, so we're actually going to go back to the beginning of the game and work forward. We wanted to choose this act though for the demo because it kind of showcases everything that you'll see more or less in the actual entirety of Chapter 0. So it has stuff like combat, it has dialogue and interaction with different objects, and so it was a good example to show off. Thanks so much for watching this episode. If you like what you're seeing, please share on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps out there as well. We really appreciate you guys, all the support you've been giving us on social media so far. So thanks for what you're doing, and we'll continue trying to make the best game that we can.